There are few filmmakers alive that can boast a resume as impressive as Spike Lee's. Over his 40-year career, the Brooklyn native has made landmark films.
Few filmmakers in modern cinema have wielded influence quite like Spike Lee. With his razor-sharp storytelling, uncompromising social commentary, and groundbreaking visual style, Lee has carved out a place as one of Hollywood's most fearless voices. From Do the Right Thing to Malcolm X, his films don't just entertain, they ignite conversation, stir emotions, and demand reflection. Over the years, Spike Lee has been open about the films that inspired his career, shaped his worldview, and left a permanent imprint on his artistry. Recently, he revealed 6 movies that he considers his all-time favorites. These aren't just films he admires. They're works that resonate deeply with his identity as both an artist and a storyteller.
It's a very interesting film. People should make up their own mind about it. For many years, that film was banned.
What's fascinating is how these films connect to Spike's own journey, his unapologetic storytelling, his commitment to truth, and his drive to represent voices often ignored by mainstream Hollywood. Each of these choices tells us not only about cinema itself, but also about the DNA of Spike Lee's creative genius.
It allows me to express myself and share it with the world.
Let's step into this cinematic journey and explore Spike Lee's 6 favorite movies of all time. Denzel Washington. One cannot talk about Spike Lee without mentioning his long-standing collaboration with Denzel Washington. Their creative partnership has produced some of the most unforgettable films in American cinema. But before Denzel became one of Lee's closest collaborators, Spike was already captivated by the raw brilliance he brought to the screen. One of the films Spike Lee has consistently praised is Malcolm X, 1992, which he also directed. While it might seem obvious to include a film he himself made, Lee doesn't see Malcolm X as just his creation. It was a profound collaboration between himself, Washington, and a powerful story that demanded to be told. For Lee, Denzel's performance as Malcolm X wasn't just acting, it was channeling. Lee has often said that Washington didn't simply portray Malcolm, he became him.
I think Denzel's a beautiful name for a son.
The intensity, the cadence, the conviction. Washington captured the essence of the civil rights leader in a way that transcended cinema. Spike has compared the film's importance to epics like Lawrence of Arabia or Gandhi, recognizing it as a monumental piece of storytelling that defined an era. But beyond Malcolm X, Spike often highlights films where Denzel showcased his versatility, like Glory, 1989, and Mo Better Blues, 1990. For Lee, Washington represents the kind of actor who brings truth to every role, a truth that elevates the art of filmmaking itself. Meryl Streep. It might surprise some, but Spike Lee has always admired Meryl Streep, not only for her incredible range, but also for her courage in tackling complex roles. Streep's performances often reflect the kind of depth and authenticity that Spike values in cinema. One of the films he cited as a favorite is Sophie's Choice, 1982. Streep's haunting portrayal of Sophie resonated deeply with him, not just as a viewer, but as a filmmaker dedicated to human truth.
Just incredible, isn't it? Look, everybody over there! Woohoo!
What Lee respects most about Streep is her ability to dissolve into characters, whether she's a Polish immigrant, a fashion mogul, or a mother wrestling with unbearable choices. Spike has often said that cinema at its best doesn't just entertain, it makes us uncomfortable, it challenges us, and it opens our eyes. Streep embodies that philosophy. By placing Sophie's Choice on his list, even though his own films focus heavily on the Black American experience, he recognizes greatness wherever it emerges. For Spike, Meryl Streep represents the gold standard of performance, and Sophie's Choice is a benchmark for storytelling. Al Pacino. Spike Lee has always gravitated toward films with raw energy and unapologetic characters, qualities that Al Pacino brings to almost every role. Lee has often discussed his admiration for Dog Day Afternoon, 1975, a film where Pacino plays a desperate man caught in a bank heist gone wrong.
I love you too much because I'll kick his ass. Listen, you don't have to...
What draws Spike to this film is its realism. Pacino's character isn't a glamorous gangster or a polished anti-hero. He's messy, flawed, and profoundly human. Lee has said that Dog Day Afternoon was a revelation for him in understanding how cinema could capture the chaos of life. The film's gritty New York setting also speaks to Spike personally. Born and raised in Brooklyn, Lee has always had a deep connection to the streets of New York. In Dog Day Afternoon, he sees the city not as a backdrop, but as a character itself, something he has mirrored in his own films like Do the Right Thing. Pacino's influence on Spike goes beyond just admiration. Spike has often said that Pacino represents a kind of fearlessness that all actors should strive for. Cicely Tyson. Spike Lee has repeatedly emphasized the importance of representation in cinema, and Cicely Tyson's groundbreaking career embodies that mission. For Spike, Tyson was more than just an actress. She was a pioneer who paved the way for generations of Black performers.
Good afternoon, Miss Tyson. My name is Denzel Washington.
One of the films Spike always highlights is Sounder, 1972, a story of resilience and family in the face of hardship. At a time when Hollywood often relegated Black actors to stereotypes, Tyson brought dignity, strength, and emotional depth to her role. Spike has said that watching Sounder as a young man was a transformative experience. It showed him that cinema could honor Black lives with respect and authenticity, something he would later fight for in his own career. Tyson's legacy inspired Spike to tell stories that Hollywood often ignored, stories that mattered deeply to his community. For Spike Lee, Tyson isn't just one of his favorite actresses. She's a beacon. Robert De Niro. When Spike Lee talks about cinema that shaped him, Robert De Niro's collaborations with Martin Scorsese often come up. One film in particular, Taxi Driver, 1976, is a favorite of his. For Spike, Taxi Driver represents the kind of fearless storytelling that redefined American cinema. De Niro's portrayal of Travis Bickle, a disturbed Vietnam veteran spiraling into violence, resonated with Spike because it captured the psychological turmoil of a society in decay. The film's gritty portrayal of New York, its unflinching look at alienation, and its haunting descent into madness all left a deep impression on him. Spike has often said that Scorsese and De Niro's partnership was like a masterclass in filmmaking. Taxi Driver showed him how far you could push character, narrative, and style. What Lee admired most about De Niro was his immersion into roles. Just as Denzel Washington became Malcolm X, De Niro became Travis Bickle. That level of dedication to craft is what Spike sees as the hallmark of great cinema. Sidney Poitier. If there is one actor Spike Lee has consistently held in the highest regard, it is Sidney Poitier. Poitier wasn't just a movie star, he was a trailblazer who broke barriers in Hollywood during a time when opportunities for Black actors were scarce.
Well, how'd you get there before I came along?
We walk every Sunday, now we got you.
Now, damn it! You ain't got me.
One of the films Spike often references is In the Heat of the Night, 1967. Poitier's role as Virgil Tibbs, a Black detective navigating racism in the South, struck a chord with Spike. It wasn't just the power of Poitier's performance, but the significance of what it represented: dignity, defiance, and an insistence on respect. Spike has said that seeing Poitier on screen gave him hope and validation. Poitier proved that Black actors could carry complex leading roles and command the screen with authority. That legacy was critical in inspiring Spike to create roles for Black performers that challenged stereotypes and celebrated their humanity. Spike Lee's list of 6 favorite movies is more than just a catalog of great cinema. It's a window into the mind of a filmmaker who has never stopped fighting for truth, representation, and artistry. From Denzel Washington's electrifying performance in Malcolm X, to Meryl Streep's haunting Sophie's Choice, from the raw energy of Al Pacino in Dog Day Afternoon, to the dignity of Cicely Tyson in Sounder, from Robert De Niro's intensity in Taxi Driver, to Sidney Poitier's trailblazing role in the Heat of the Night. Each film reflects a piece of what Spike values most: courage, authenticity, and the power of cinema to change the world. For Spike Lee, movies are not just entertainment. They are a mirror to society, a force for change, and a legacy for generations to come. His 6 favorite films reveal the depth of his love for storytelling and the unshakable principles that continue to drive his work. As audiences, we don't just learn about the films he loves, we learn about the man himself. Spike Lee's choices remind us why cinema matters and why stories, when told with honesty and passion, have the power to endure forever.